years old. But she's a young woman with a remarkable story, an inspirational speaker. Please welcome Joli Vega.
I'm Joli Vega from Brockton, Massachusetts. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk with you this afternoon. So there are a lot of people here, and we probably don't have time for you all to introduce yourselves. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm 10 years old. I'm Filipino and Puerto Rican. I'm the oldest of 3 children. I have a leopard gecko named Honeysuckle. I'm 5th grade. I love Tufts University soccer. I have a dog named Cody, and I was diagnosed with cancer. I'm going to talk about the last thing that I said on my list. I'm guessing what makes me a little bit different from other kids is that I had cancer. The cancer I had is called retinoblastoma. Retinoblastoma is a cancer that pretty much happens to kids. So all you old people out there, don't worry. But when I was 2 years old, I was diagnosed with retinoblastoma. To save my life, my doctors had to remove my right eye. How many of you in the audience remember when you were 2 years old? Not many of you. Well, me neither. I actually don't remember the doctors removing my eye thanks to anesthesia. I was asleep. And I don't really remember having chemotherapy, even though there are lots of pictures of me in the hospital. Even though there is proof that I had chemotherapy, I was 2. So don't judge if I had to ask a couple family members to finish this. But I do know how cancer and having a fake eye has made me the person I am today. I try to stand up for people who are different, because growing up with a fake eye was hard. But the hardest was at one place, school. School is a big challenge. People were my age. I thought, and think right now, that it is so much easier hanging out with grown-ups or little kids. They don't really care. But when kids look at me, sadly, they don't drool or go to college or have children to play with. I've spent my life around grown-ups. While other kids were at preschool or daycare, I was in a hospital. The only kids I did know were also sick. I had no connection with kids who didn't sleep in hospital beds or had to take any medicine. The person I saw the most, besides my family, was my visiting nurse, Pat, but I could hardly call that a play date. I was more of a pincushion than a playmate. Because of cancer, I was exposed to kids who were different, like me. Cancer didn't really care what race we were. They didn't care what religion we practiced. They didn't care who we loved or if we were rich or poor. They didn't care if we were the oldest or youngest in our class. Retinoblastoma left someone who was blind. Some of us with one eye, and for very lucky friends, still have both of their eyes. I'm so happy for those early lessons about acceptance. My friends with cancer are my friends with cancer. We learn to get along, we learn to laugh together, but sometimes why school is tough for me. At school, not everyone knows that being different is beautiful. That's where it gets hard. When I started going to elementary school, there were a few bumps in my life. Kids would stare and whisper to their friends. I knew they were just curious, but it still hurt my feelings. I felt very lonely being different. But after a while, other kids got to see who I was on the inside. And they found out that we had a lot in common. Soon those kids were the kids who stood up for me when kids stared. And it feels good that they have my back. That's when my life became a little bit more smooth. Every day, I look in the mirror and see my prosthetic eye, and it makes me smile. Because without it, I would have never made my friends with cancer. I would have never known how strong friendship could be at school. I would have never known how important it is to treat people who are different as if they were beautiful on the inside and outside. For the last 8 years of my life, Cancer has always affected it. But I've chosen to see it as a gift. I may talk about cancer a lot and how it affects my life in bad ways, but behind all of that, it helped me to become a relationship maker. Because of cancer, I have traveled to places where I may have not gone if I didn't have cancer. Truth is, I'm okay being a friend who's different. Because if I can teach others that being different is beautiful, maybe they will build relationships with people who are different. And isn't that all what really matters? That we connect with each other, that we are kind to each other, and that we find ways to make people smile? That's what matters to me. Though cancer left me with limited sight, it has certainly left me with greater vision. Thank you.